A shepherd's dog had a master who took no care of him, but often left him suffer the greatest hunger. At last he could bear it no longer, so he took to his heels, and off he ran in a very sad and sorrowful way. On the road he met a sparrow that said to him, "Why are you so sad, my friend?" "Because," moaned the dog, "I am very, very hungry and have nothing to eat." "If that be all," answered the sparrow, "come with me into the next town, and I will soon find you plenty of food." So on they went together into the town, and as they passed by a butcher's shop, the sparrow said to the dog, "Stand there a little while till I peck you down a piece of meat." So the sparrow perched upon the shelf, and having first looked carefully about her to see if anyone was watching, she pecked and scratched at a steak that lay upon the edge of the shelf, till at last down it fell. The dog snapped it up and scrambled away with it into a corner, where he soon ate it all up. "Well, my good friend, have you had enough now?" "I have had plenty of meat," answered he, "but I should like to have a piece of bread to eat after it." "Come with me then," said the sparrow, "and you shall soon have that too." So she took him to a baker's shop, and pecked at 2 rolls that lay in the window, till they fell down as well. And as the dog still wished for more, she took him to another shop, and pecked down some more for him. When that was eaten, the sparrow asked him whether he had had enough now. "Yes," said he, "now let us take a walk a little way out of town." So they both went upon the high road, playing and laughing as they went. But as the weather was warm, they had not gone very far before the dog said, "I am very much tired. I should like to take a nap." "Very well," answered the sparrow, "do so, and in the meantime I will perch upon that bush and watch over you." So the dog stretched himself out in the road and fell fast asleep. Whilst he was asleep, there came by a carter with a cart drawn by a horse, and loaded with a cask of wine. The sparrow, seeing the carter did not turn out of the way, but would go on the track in which the dog lay, so as to drive over him, called out, "Stop! Stop, Mr. Carter, or it shall be the worst for you!" But the carter, grumbling to himself, "You make it the worst for me indeed! Ha! What can you do, little bird?" cracked his whip and drove his cart over the poor dog so that the wheels crushed him to death. "There!" cried the sparrow, "you cruel villain! You have killed my friend the dog. Now you will mind what I say. This deed that you have done will cost you all that you are worth." "Do your worst and welcome," said the brute. "What harm can you do to me?" And drove on, feeling no remorse over what he had done. But the sparrow crept under the tilt of the cart and pecked at the bung of the cask till she loosened it. And then all the wine ran out, without the carter seeing it. At last he looked around and saw the cart was dripping and the cask quite empty. "What an unlucky wretch I am!" cried he. "Not wretch enough yet," said the sparrow, as she alighted upon the head of one of the horses, and pecked at him till he reared up and kicked. When the carter saw this, he drew out his hatchet and aimed a blow at the sparrow, meaning to kill her, but she flew away, and the blow fell upon the horse's head with such force that he fell down dead. "Alas, miserable wretch that I am!" cried he. "Not wretch enough yet," answered the sparrow as she flew away. "Now I will plague and punish you at your own house." The carter was forced at last to leave his cart behind, and to go home, overflowing with rage and vexation. "Alas," said he to his wife, "what ill luck has befallen me! My wine is all spilt, and my horse is dead." "Alas, husband," replied she, "and a wicked bird has come into the house, and has brought with her all the birds in the world, I am sure, and they have fallen upon our corn in the loft, and are eating it up at such a rate." Away ran the husband up the stairs, and saw thousands of birds sitting upon the floor, eating up his corn, with the sparrow in the midst of them. "Unlucky wretch that I am!" cried the carter, for he saw that the corn was almost all gone. "Not wretch enough yet," said the sparrow. "Your cruelty shall cost you your life yet." And away she flew. As the sparrow flew from place to place in the home, the carter and his wife were so furious that they broke all their furniture, their glasses, chairs, benches, the table, and at last even the walls, without touching the bird at all. In the end, however, they caught her, and the wife said, "Shall I kill her at once?" "No," cried he, "that is letting her off too easily. She shall die a much more cruel death. I will eat her." But the sparrow began to flutter about, and stretched out her neck and cried, "Carter, it shall cost you your life yet." With that he could no longer wait, so he gave his wife the hatchet and cried, "Wife, strike at that bird and kill her in my hand." And the wife struck, but she missed her aim and hit her husband on the head, so that he fell down dead. And the sparrow flew quietly home to her nest, mournful over the loss of her friend, but satisfied in her vengeance. And that is the story of the sparrow and the dog. Now this is a bit of an odd story, I have to admit. It's one of the old Grimm tales. It's interesting in that it teaches a lesson of don't be cruel to animals. At the exact same time, it also teaches that you should be sorry for what you did. Now, I did kind of chop and change a little bit on the story so it wouldn't repeat itself so much. I clearly stated the carter did not feel any regret or remorse over what he had done to the dog. So as punishment, the birds kind of killed him. It's a very dark lesson. It's a very dark story with a very, very definite lesson. Be sorry for the things that you do wrong, and obviously don't kill animals. And finally, if a sparrow tells you not to go on a road, I suppose you should listen and preferably run as fast as you can in the other direction, because most sparrows who talk are probably going to chop your head off. In any case, I actually quite like the story. It's one story I actually grew up with as a kid, and it always kind of stuck with me. If you guys like me reading stories, let me know. If you don't like me reading stories, then I won't do it anymore. It was just kind of a test. But if you did like it, please let me know, and I'll certainly do more of them. And thanks for watching.